And they're off. Longish downhill run before they reach the first of the two fences in the straight, the first of 14 fences in all, and the two market leaders. Run Wild Fred on the inside of Noble Yates are the first two to show in front, and already have opened up a gap of some half a dozen lengths to Hurricane Georgie and Esther's Marvel. So as they continue the run downhill, shortly to meet the turn into the straight, and the first of the 14 obstacles, and Noble Yates and Sean Bowen on the outside of Run Wild Fred and Jack Kennedy. And they're about half a dozen lengths in front of Hurricane Georgie, Sam Ewing and Esther's Marvel and Darragh O'Keefe as they jump fence number 1 and quickly on to the second of the 14 obstacles. Noble Yates leads over it, gets a good jump there. Run Wild Fred was not too tidy at it. Jumps at second, doesn't lose any real momentum. That chases the leader at a gap of about 2 lengths as they pass the winning post. 4 to 5 lengths in front of Hurricane Georgie and Esther's Marvel. At fence number 3, the fence past the stands. Noble Yates again stood off it, jumped it well from Run Wild Fred. Just gets a slap down the neck from Jack Kennedy for his troubles after a couple of early, not exactly blunders, but not terribly fluent jumps either. They're clear of Hurricane Georgie and Esther's Marvel, who are at a remove of about half a dozen lengths from the two leaders. So as they swing left-handed and make their way towards fence number 4, Noble Yates and Run Wild Fred much better there, and they jump at about half a dozen lengths in front of Hurricane Georgie and Esther's Marvel. So continuing the left-handed swing to bring them to the entrance to the back straight, and on the longish run to bring them towards fences 4 and 5 and 6. Noble Yates leads by half a length. Run Wild Fred in second, and 6 to 8 then back to Hurricane Georgie and Esther's Marvel. Coming to number 6. Noble Yates again stood off it, jumped it beautifully. Run Wild Fred had to match that jump and did, within a length, 3 parts of a length in second. Hurricane Georgie and Esther's Marvel 3 and 4 as they jump the next, and Noble Yates, the national winner, really enjoying himself out in front of these early stages and jumping very well. Run Wild Fred, his jumping has tidied up a good deal since those mistakes at 2 of the first 3 fences, and they're about 8 to 10 in front of Hurricane Georgie, the other national winner in the field, having won the Midlands National at Kilbeggan during the summer. And Esther's Marvel, the rank outsider, is the back marker of the quartet. So continuing the run towards the turn into the straight for the second time, where they will face fences 7 and 8. And coming to the crown of the bend now, Noble Yates and Sean Bowen on the inside of Run Wild Fred and Jack Kennedy, and a gap back to Hurricane Georgie, Sam Ewing and Esther's Marvel and Darragh O'Keefe remaining in touch with the other mare in the race. They are 3rd and 4th. At the fence, which will be the last in a circuit's time, Run Wild Fred fluent on the outside of Noble Yates, both jumping it well as they come up to pass the winning post. And Run Wild Fred second at Punchestown to stable companion Galvin when last seen earlier in the month. Noble Yates, a rather forgettable trip to France, was his seasonal debut a couple of weeks ago, but looks far more at it today, Noble Yates, and both he and Run Wild Fred both jumping well out in front, and they're clear of Hurricane Georgie and Esther's Marvel, the back marker of the 4. Swinging left-handed, 5 fences left to jump in this M.W. Hickey Memorial Chase, and coming to the 5th last fence now. Noble Yates on the inside of Run Wild Fred. There's been little enough between them throughout. Noble Yates, again a good jump. Run Wild Fred gets a length in the air on Run Wild Fred there, and they're clear of Hurricane Georgie and Esther's Marvel. So swinging into the back straight. Longest run before they reach the 4th and 3rd last fences. Noble Yates and Sean Bowen on the inside of Run Wild Fred and Jack Kennedy. Hurricane Georgie and Sam Ewing trying to hang on to their coattails back in 3rd, about 8 lengths back, and Esther's Marvel and Darragh O'Keefe is last of the 4, as it has been from the drop of the flag, as they continue the approach to the fence 4 from the finish. Nothing to choose between the two principals. Noble Yates on the inside of Run Wild Fred, both jump it well. Hurricane Georgie back in third, and Esther's Marvel 4 at the third last. Noble Yates on the inside of Run Wild Fred, again stood off it, gained about half a length in the air there did Noble Yates. Run Wild Fred in second, clear of Hurricane Georgie, still trying to hang on to them in third and is managing to do so at this stage. Esther's Marvel has cried enough back in 4, but will continue for the fourth place prize money, one would imagine, of €1,250. But heading towards the turn into the straight inside the final half mile. Noble Yates, Run Wild Fred, Jack Kennedy on the outside. Hurricane Georgie is keeping on back in third and is now within 3 to 4 lengths of the two leaders. As they continue the run towards the turn into the straight, 2 fences left to jump in the M.W. Hickey Memorial Chase, and Noble Yates travels the better as Run Wild Fred now comes under a push and gets a reminder from Jack Kennedy, with Hurricane Georgie might just prove the danger to the national winner on the outside as they head down towards the second last. Noble Yates, the leader, comes to the second last, jumps it well from Hurricane Georgie on the outside of Run Wild Fred, and heading between the final 2 fences, Noble Yates, the leader, from Hurricane Georgie in second. Run Wild Fred is beaten back in third over the last. Noble Yates jumps at spring-heeled as he has been throughout. And racing inside the final 150 yards, it's Noble Yates is out in front for Sean Bowen. The entry national winner is going to make a stirring return to action in Ireland as Noble Yates wins by about 4 to 5 lengths. Hurricane Georgie in second. Run Wild Fred a disappointing and pretty flat third.
Yes, Evan Mullins joins me now to winning our feature event of the afternoon at Noble Yates. Great to get his season back on course. Obviously, there was plenty of there was a valid excuse, a valid reason for the disappointing effort in No Tie.
That's it. It was very disappointing on the day after making the journey over to be only negotiating 4 fences. But thankfully, James really rode him, and he made a bad mistake. Felt that things weren't right, and he looked after him. And we still have a horse today because of it.
It was a really good performance today. He's jumped extremely well, hasn't he? And Sean always looked in total control on him.
That's it. No, it wasn't too many anxious moments there today, and that's a nice change of pace compared to watching most chase races. So we're always very comfortable, and Sean got on great with him there today, and they seemed to be in a great rhythm the whole way.
And tell us how the association came about with Sean Bowen to ride this horse for the first time.
Yeah, no, the owners were keen enough to try and get someone to commit for the season, and Sean has ridden a few for them, I think, in the past through Ollie Murphy, and very keen to use him. And as I say, he's a great rider, flying in England this year, second in championship. So I was only delighted to use him.
And of course, he's a great record over the national fences as well.
Exactly, no, and Robert definitely had his homework done there.
Where next with him? Obviously, all roads will lead to the end of the season, all things being equal, a repeat bid in the entry national. But what's the kind of plan at the moment with him on the build up to then?
That's it. There's no plan as such. We'll take it one step at a time, and as I say, we had our plans originally in our head on the way to Paris, but on the way home we had no plans. So it's just trying to get a footing now and feel where we are.
And that obviously just puts him back at an even keel. You couldn't be any more impressed by that performance today.
Exactly, no, it was very straightforward, and a delight to watch from the stand.
Great stuff, Emmett, well done.
Cheers, thanks.
You got a quick word with Sean Bowen, his partner's first winner, and only what, your 8th ever ride in Ireland, is it?
Yeah, not many rides, but it's nice to get one over the sea and know you can do it elsewhere as well.
And tell us how the connection came about with getting the ride in this horse.
Yeah, well, I haven't actually spoke to Robert, but he said with my sort of winners over the national fences, that probably swayed him towards using me. But no, very grateful, and it's a lovely horse to get the ride on.
And he was foot perfect all the way. He's jumped brilliantly. You were always in control and always looked confident.
Yeah, no, he's a horse that wouldn't impress you now on the way around. He just does what he needs to do, but every time you ask him of it, he gives it to you. So nice start for him anyway.
And it's a good association to strike up with a former Grand National winner.
Yeah, it's massive. Just to be riding horses like that, people see it, and yeah, hopefully there's a few more winners left in him.
And you're having a brilliant season as well. I know you're a bit behind Brian Hughes, but it's your best start to a season, sitting second behind Brian in the championship in England.
Yeah, best start ever. That Brian Hughes is hard to catch, but we'll keep trying.
Well, Sean, many congratulations, well done. Hopefully it's the first of many winners now.
Spot on. Cheers, thank you.